You're incredible. You know that?
There's no need to be facetious, Grace.
I don't have gold.
I just realized I'm an asshole. I have a house in Kistar and we've been renting a space.
Welcome back to the Insanities. That is the channel known as By the Dice.
Hello.
And I cast Wish for installment.
Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9?
Well, one of them's a relatively perpetuously postulous pixie. Normally they're like, oh, they come from the Outlands. Now this guy came from the fracking city. He's from the hood.
That's 3 days today, tomorrow. I'll give you something to do.
Freddie, please tell me you don't think you're some kind of adventurer.
I'm sorry. Are you not about to head into a monster's lair at great personal peril? What else would you call that?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, he wasn't gold. That's the idiot that lives here. You watch as the dragon kind of hops up. Excuse me, idiot. I'm smarter than you. And barbarian? They just don't care. Damn, exactly. We have to play like John's the DM. Lose to that tiny little goblin. It's pretty bad right now. Like barbarian. Last time we actually managed to get ourselves together for this insanity. You all had walked through a portal under the understanding that Tiamat wants this archipelago.
Tiamat wants to go.
All of them. There's actually about a chain of 6 islands. As you stepped out, you saw everything from a fairy's apartment complex, complete with strange objects and puffs of what the hell color flying out of random windows. It seems like this is a place that's kind of a, well, mixture and melting pot of cultures in a way America could only wish it was. I mean, obviously you have your negative elements. The alleyway that you all landed yourselves in, well, it's kind of dirty and gross. You know, people empty their chamber pots into the alleys. And as you stand on the other side of this portal, and the last of you steps through, who was last, by the way?
That would be me, and I made it into town and had some wonderful curry.
Oh yeah. So.
We made the old man piss himself and decide he wasn't going to drink anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's because I walked over and, slammed a dagger into the table and used Intimidate.
I'm not drinking. So you find yourself, where we left you was in this tavern, sitting down. I believe the last thing Kalora had expressed to the group was a need to make these people like us after that intimidation.
I need to make friends.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks, so I
That's
get
what
why.
I'm saying, I don't remember.
And that's where we're going to pick things up on the words we need to make friends. And it's all on you guys. If you'd like, you can roll a d20 for out of combat initiative so we know who goes where.
There we go. Clean dice tray.
23.
Okay, you all keep track of this. And we're all responsible adults here. We can keep track of whose turn it is. I don't have to monitor everything. How'd you do?
20... 22.
Look up here.
Just remember, if you're number 2, then you're the shit.
Right? But it's a double 2, so it's double shit. I mean, technically it was a 19 plus 3.
18 plus 5.
Nice. How do you have fun?
Son.
Because fighters are proficient in strength and dexterity.
Yeah, that's why I was
There
like,
aren't very many there.
Proficiency bonus plus dex bonus.
I got 12.
And a pile of caltrops on the floor.
Yeah,
Some
I'm
of the
working
metal
on
ones
it.
are brutal.
I'm working on it.
You're good.
Good job. We're so proud.
But be nice.
So what? All right, weird question. What gives you your initiative? Is it just your?
It's your dex bonus. It's a dexterity saving throw. So whatever your dexterity saving throw is in the little saving throws box
Yeah.
is your initiative bonus.
Okay, so yeah, I was right. It's a 3. I just wanted to clarify. So I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. You're a casting class, so technically you don't want to be the first guy into the fray.
Oh, but I can be the first guy to the fray and still, handle my own.
It happens. I mean, you're not a slouch either.
Oh yeah, I forgot I have that now. Yes.
So, sitting down at this bar discussing plans forward from here.
We need to make friends. Like, if we're going to do what we came here to do, the 4 of us are not going to be enough. Ronan, you've been on similar-ish ideaed missions. Are you capable of making friends?
Well, yeah, that's not hard for me. It's just a matter of don't piss them off.
Again, I ask, are you capable of making friends?
Oh yeah. As long as you guys let me do what I need to do and don't piss them off.
Says the one who likes to shoot before asking questions.
Can't piss them off if they're dead.
What were your all's numbers, by the way?
I got 10.
I had a 12.
Okay, then. Pause. Wisp, where's your 2 cents in this conversation? It's your turn.
I don't need friends. I have you guys.
With enemies like these, who needs friends?
No, not even that. Just, Wisp has always been kind of a loner, except for when he was trying to help people, so it's more along the lines of, I don't need to make friends. If they like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. All I can say is taste my lightning. More specifically, taste my lightning fuckers.
Well, nobody ever said what the vocal components were for the spells.
Right? If you don't like me, you can always, taste my big black ball of death.
Twice.
To be fair, so did the enemy.
About this time, another pitcher of ale comes to the table. The server says, "This one, courtesy of that nice lady right over there." And you notice that the drunkard that you scared the piss out of and made quit drinking is being drug in by his ear because apparently he went home to his wife. And now this rather, well, for a dwarf, rather lithe and attractive yet bearded woman walks up to you and says, "This one's on me. I've been trying to get this worthless lap to fucking quit drinking for the last decade." About that time, she clocks him in the back of the kneecaps so that he's her height and then hits him in the back of the head, and you watch it bounce off the fucking floor. He grabs him by the shirt and drags him out the door.
Okay.
And that brings us to number 12. So your input to this conversation as you watch this guy get his ass kicked and Wisp get some satisfaction out of his terror.
Yeah, I can make friends, but intimidation's also a thing. I need friends when they can fear us. I can just scare them into doing what we want.
How best to put this? Fear, while a delightfully useful tool, incredibly useful, incredibly effective, also ends in young men and women deciding to devote their lives to becoming powerful enough to overthrow you.
So don't let them become powerful enough.
There is no avoiding that. There is none. Have you not heard 101 legends of some kid getting mad at a tyrant and deciding to spend the rest of his life serving that tyrant until he was a high enough level in the military and had all of the prowess and the understanding of his craft to walk into said tyrant's inner sanctum and slaughter them?
Boring.
Exactly. It's happened so many fucking times that it's not even, it's a bedtime story at best.
Feel free to jump in on this whenever you like, by the way. You have 2 cents in this because your life's as much on the line as theirs.
I'm telling you, we need friends.
I can make friends, but I'd rather just, be a little shit than make problems.
Since when did I become the sensible one?
I'm gonna kind of have to agree, though. Intimidation and making them fearless
Intimidation
doesn't
is more
exactly,
fun.
make them on our side or make them more loyal. Deception is better.
But we don't have to do that either.
Much more fun.
It sounds like they have a particularly egregious problem that may be in our wheelhouse to solve. I bet you if we solve that problem, i.e. whatever keeps the children from running and playing in the streets, we're going to have the vast majority of this beautiful community on our side to begin with.
Intimidation just sounds way more fun to me.
Okay, then let's go intimidate whatever the fuck is keeping their kids from playing. How about that? Let's go do some intimidating in the right direction. I will take your brashness and your bullheadedness and I will point it in the direction of this problem over here. I will even bless you all in your endeavor to continue causing whatever's causing them problems. I can do that now.
I was waiting for that, actually. It's like, Wisp, it dawns on you somewhere in the back of your head. You hear a whisper similar to the voice that very much reminds you of the voice of your patron. Going, since when did the bird have a brain? They cannot hear this in character, but you totally hear it, and it says it very calm and confusedly, like, since when did the bird have a brain?
I'm gonna snicker. Like,
I said it out loud. Since when did I become the sensible one?
I'm just gonna snicker.
Bright enough to realize it, even.
I knew I was the fool in the party for the most part the whole time.
She's from killing off her whole family to wanting to help people.
Yes.
Damn bird.
I think I'm gonna leave.
My family was in the way.
I think I'm gonna leave the tavern and find a blacksmith to turn the turtle shell into a shield.
Alright, so as you're sitting here giving this rant, Wisp snickers about something, stands up.
I wanna stand up, stealth, and then just kind of like walk away.
Okay, make a stealth check for me, and I need everybody's passive perception because you're in the middle of a conversation, so.
12.
You're passive.
Passive. Oh, 14.
28. 17 plus 11.
Okay, I can tell you for a fact that there is not a character class in the entirety of, well, maybe a ranger if you take the right combos, that can passive perception what happens. So Wisp stands up, mutters something about needing to take a piss while snickering, steps backward from the table, and you get lost in the conversation between you and the two of them. And Wisp, you make your way out, and somehow don't even rustle anybody's robes on your way out the door. You manage to slip in between an elf and a half-orc walking through right after each other, because one's going one way and the other. You go through the crack in the fucking door, so you don't even have to make a motion on the door as you go out.
Nice. I do want to make an active perception check to see if people, just to like gauge if people are paying attention to our conversation. I'm not too worried about people paying attention to our conversation, but that's a 14. Not a bad perception check.
No, not at all. And to the best of your knowledge, doesn't look like anybody is paying any of you any mind.
Cool. Yeah, it was just because we're only talking about being friends to them, dealing with their problem. So I'm not too horribly worried about it.
People were also talking about mayhem and intimidating people. And somebody did slam a dagger down into a table and make some old guy piss himself and get up and leave. He did actually go straight home to his wife like he said he was going to. Looked at her and said, "Baby, I ain't never touching a drop again."
That's awesome. No wonder she bought the fucking...
Bought you all a pitcher of good ale and
Yeah, no wonder she bought the picture. That makes sense.
beat the shit out of him in front of you and left with him. At least she cleaned up her mess.
I mean, to be fair, the ass whooping she gave him would have been a lot easier than the ass whooping I would have.
Well, she's dragging him home.
Again, it's a lot nicer of an ass whooping than I would have given him.
But it's humiliating enough.
Yeah, but once she gets him out of an establishment where she might break things, they live like 10 blocks away.
I mean, to be fair, I could do some pretty good fucking, like, you know.
Now, our Tabaxi friend who owns this tavern was extremely reluctant to share any information on the community's problem.
Uh-huh.
I don't think revisiting her as a source of information is a good idea until at least we've had a long rest. Give her, her hackles time to come down.
Mhm.
I'd like to look for a house of worship.
Talk to them about it.
I think, odd as it may be, that I need to go speak with a priest. Because I think that'll be the better of the choices in terms of people to talk to about what's going on in this community. That way I could probably gauge if what they're facing is in our wheelhouse. Because if it's in our wheelhouse, then we have a much stronger chance of developing lasting ties with this community that will help us in the future. And this isn't to put your ideas of murder and mayhem completely out of the question, because, well, have you met us?
What a lively bunch, aren't we?
Murder and mayhem remain entirely on the table, but maybe we take the diplomatic and say, build a strong ties pathway first, if possible.
You all are planning on going to villains. Nobody said you didn't have to be good villains.
Yeah.
There is such thing as a good bad.
Uh-huh. I mean, we're really only the bad guys in the story because we don't mind hurting people to make it right. My family were in the way.
Alright.
Anything? Out of either one of you? I mean, I can sit here and soliloquy away, but I'd prefer not to.
I mean, that's what you want to do. I guess. I'll try to not murder someone on the way there.
Here, how about this? After we talk to the priest, or I talk to the priest, rather, as long as it's not certain Dragonborn.
What's really bad is nobody's even realized I've left the table yet.
No.
They think you wandered off to go take a piss.
Right?
I'm playing the part of you being not here is totally normal.
Right?
There's nothing strange about it. I did not perceive.
At all. At a 28, you're hard pressed to perceive.
Right?
Did not perceive. Because I think that if we could avoid getting murdered, that'd be great. And I feel like an already oppressed people are just a ticking time bomb of, oh great, another fucking villain. From, hey, that one we can hurt.
Do you remember what Tiamat said about this place being just ripe for the picking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I want you to hold that thought as you all step out into the street, which is still hustling and bustling even though it's round about sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to cut over to Mr. Wisp.
Yeah.
So, Wisp, you make yourself, as you exit the tavern into these busy streets, it's probably about a half hour prior to when we're leaving them off.
Okay.
As you look about, you see all kinds of different people in the street.
That one's not.
Carpenters, people with their wares. That's one of the ones out of the tackle box. And for the most part, from what you can see, most of what's around where you are at this direct point is you've got a street. It's kind of at a weird four-way intersection, you know, where two of the streets are offset and everything else is straight.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
it's really hard to concentrate when you do that. And as you look about you, you can see a couple other taverns. This looks like it's kind of a pub and residential district. There are people, there's like an old man sitting out on his porch smoking a pipe on a rocking chair. There's yeah, basically houses, a couple more pubs, some of them looking a little worse than others. You notice that people are either heading to or away from or central and in towards the ocean, the sound of the ocean behind you. With your ears and your sense of smell, you'd have a pretty good idea what direction the ocean's in. Smell of dead fish and salt.
Okay.
But you can barely hear, probably, like, the way this intersection is set up, it would be to your right and forward. So, like, there's an alleyway next to the tavern, and it would be like the alleyway turns into the street,
Okay.
and it seems to be coming from that direction. On the other side of the tavern is a main thoroughfare going in the opposite direction. That's what I meant by a weird zigzagged intersection.
Okay.
The one in front of the tavern is a straight line. So, what can you do? But intuitively speaking, because, well, Wisp is not dumb, you do end up following down, and after about 5-10 minutes, you start hearing more market type sounds. The smells change to more like food stall type foods and things of that nature. You see more people pissing in the alleys. You know, you get drunk, you're not trying to be rude.
Right.
You notice that there's a lot more foot traffic, even at the later part of the day.
Okay.
So, you manage to make yourself to a relatively large marketplace. And seems to be set up kind of like a square. You can see all kinds of different shops. What in particular are you looking for as a what type of blacksmith are you looking for? What do you want them to specialize in?
I want somebody who can turn the tortoise shell into the one that
Oh, the one that got cut off the thingy in the place?
the one that's invisible.
Yeah.
But I want to see if they can turn the turtle shell into a decent shield, either something that's got, plus on it, or magical, or something that's a little bit.
Well, that would first require that you have a shield made that's a masterwork shield, and then you'd have to find somebody to enchant it, which technically you could do yourself.
Probably, yeah.
It would cost you gold to do so and things of that nature, and I do have the formulas for that. But yes, you would be capable of enchanting it yourself. Granted, if you crit fail, it destroys the materials. So you might want to get more than one crafted if possible.
Yeah. But I'm not sure how many shields I can make out of it, but I just wanted to make like a simple shield, or
Like buckler size thing? Or
yeah, something. Well, I mean, it's a decent size and it's a decent weight, because the way it was described is that it's very lightweight shell.
yeah, it would be for something that's roughly about as big around as your torso and head combined. So it's a good sized shell. It's not a joke.
Yeah.
It probably weighs, well, about a quarter of what you thought it would.
Yeah, that's what you were originally saying.
It only weighs about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So you could probably, it's what, 10 pounds on the standard small shield, a buckler weighs 5? After looking around for a while, you do see that there are some people who have more armor, or some people actually do have like shields and small arms.
Yeah.
Some people specialize in larger two-handed weapons.
But I was thinking about having it like split into two, and then being made into like two, I guess.
Like standard size shield.
Yeah, standard size shields.
Okay.
But there's a reason why I wanted it cut into two pieces. I'm just gonna reveal that later.
Okay, cool. That doesn't bother me, no.
Right.
I like monkey wrenches. I run games for you guys.
And then I also wanted to find somebody who could possibly work a fragment or two from said shell into a new casing for Herbie. There's nothing like an invisible scarab to make the world fun.
Alright,
The thoughts you have on the fly.
so you do find somebody who's able to split it and turn it into shields.
Okay.
They also explain to you that in the process of splitting it, you'll end up with some fractures and fragments, but they aren't going to be able to see where the flaws are in the shell on the parts that they cut away.
Okay.
Because it's invisible.
Okay.
So they're just kind of looking at, well, if we could see it, we could probably do that. But taps on Herbie and Herbie sputters fire at him. I don't know anybody who can make something like that. And I wouldn't want to take anything off if I were you. If I didn't know how to get it back on.
Yeah.
You know how to fix that thing?
Not right offhand, but I'm sure I could figure something out. But I will just stick with the 2 shields.
Alright, that's probably for the best.
Mainly because Herbie's temperamental, and I'm not trying to have anybody lose any body parts.
Appreciate that. He'd be a terrible blacksmith with only one arm. You ever seen somebody that? You end up whacking apprentices every day of the week. Alright, so you want this fashioned into 2 shields. I hate to do this to you, friend, but this ain't gonna be an easy job. I mean, you're asking me to work with invisible materials.
So are you saying you can't do it?
I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm saying that the spell scrolls that I'm gonna have to go buy in order to be able to work said object.
Okay, so better question then.
Whoa.
Careful.
Don't mind me setting things on fire, sorry.
Happens
Don't get
occasionally.
into it. You like it.
Yeah, changing, but apparently I am.
Right.
Better question would be, how much would it cost me?
Huh?
And then take the number that you charge me and double it.
Well, I could do it. It's gonna take me about, I'm gonna have to run everything slow. Gonna have to use about 4 scrolls of detect invisibility just to cut each shield. I can't charge you double.
Why can't you charge me double?
He looks up at you and smiles because I'm not that sleazy of a businessman. I won't accept your payment. Your money is no good if you're gonna throw it around like that to me. That degrades myself as a craftsman.
What about if I pay you double if you do great work and I'm proud of your work? Think of it as an
No.
extra tip.
That's just it. I ask what I ask because that's what my labor plus the work is worth. And the
Okay.
materials.
So then
Charging
I pay,
you more or charging you less won't do you no good. Especially since I hate to break it to you, friend, but what you're asking me for, it's gonna cost me 1,000 per scroll, 4 scrolls an hour, per side. It's gonna be 16,000 gold just in magic items alone.
Okay, so
Because it'll take me about 2 hours for each one to shape your shells.
what you're saying is it would cost roughly about 160 platinum, right?
Just for the scrolls.
And what would be the rest of the price?
I'm getting there. Patience. Thinking. It's a lot of
Also,
math.
if you need materials, I can help you out with some materials. Well,
Oh
not
no,
paying
I've
enough
got
for that.
everything around here. See, the nice thing is that right where this little island is, all sorts of interesting things wash up from the trade routes. So I've come across some really nice stuff over the years.
So do you have any known robotic power cores?
No. Can't say that I've rightly heard about that before.
I have one. What about frost nuke tooths or frost nuke claws?
Oh yeah, there's some of them about. We had a bunch of them weird people from way up north come through a while back. Don't worry about that. No, I mean real money. The stuff that I can spend at the bar and pay my landlord with. I'm sure there's people that will buy those things because, well, I've been here a long time. But I have no need for materials. I have a stockpile. But I have a need for money because I always add to my stockpile. But the things I need aren't anything you're mentioning. What I need, well, if you could manage to pull that out and deliver it to me up front, I'd let you have the shields.
What do you need?
The eye of an ice dragon.
Irony is I actually have that.
No, I don't mean a white dragon.
Do you mean an actual ice dragon?
Yes.
I have the eye of an ice dragon.
Oh yeah, you did manage to pop the eyeball out.
Yeah, I have the eye of an ice dragon.
Where are you carrying that at? That's a big object.
My extra bag of holding.
Yeah, it weighs about enough that it would almost fill that bag.
Yeah,
There's like 20 pounds left afterwards.
yeah. Well, 28 to be specific from what you were talking about. But yeah.
Yeah. So it looks at you and is like, well,
What else you need?
no, that about cover it. And my labor. And it looks like quenching oil's back on the list of things I don't need anymore.
So do you want to take the eye out or should I?
Well, actually, what I'd appreciate you do is come with me. And they open up a set of double doors.
Okay.
And I say, well, when you get it into the doorway, could you just dump it out of your bag onto the floor? The outside condition doesn't matter to what I'm about to do. You see what looks like a relatively large, almost like a ring faceter
Okay.
in the back of this room
Alright.
with a ramp going up of it.
Okay.
It looks like you got the ring fat, like the prongs of the setting could be changed in size from anything from roughly this big around
Yeah.
to about twice the size of that eyeball.
Okay.
Just empty it out and then roll it up that ramp there, will you?
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just walk up the ramp and then put the eyeball at the top, because in the bag of holding, it weighs next to nothing. Trying to push it up the ramp, I don't think I can survive the strength check.
Fair.
So I'm gonna do the smart thing and walk it up there and just drop it out of the bag to wherever they want it, because, yeah.
So as you basically pour it into place, I do need to you to make a dexterity check, or use a dexterity saving throw to aim the eyeball right. This is a slimy object pouring out of a bag of holding.
21.
You're fine. And you managed to get it to set perfectly.
Sweet.
And as it does, you hear it clamp down, and some weird mechanized sounds, and then this small person, and you're not really sure what they are. They look like they could be a little bit fairy, a little bit halfling, a little bit elf, a little bit dwarf, a little bit of like. They were probably born and raised here, and who knows?
Okay.
They are a melting pot of all of the species.
I think Whisk is gonna be like, God, where'd you come from?
Looks up at you. My mom's box, and starts cranking turning a crank next to the machine. And it's like corkscrew type thing goes up into the eyeball.
Okay.
And a conveyor belt starts running, and bottles of the juice from the eye, roughly because of the size of this thing that look like pony kegs, start filling themselves and just going back a conveyor belt and through a bunch of flaps. Except for one that they take out and I'm keeping this one. And they put it over next to the forge.
Okay, so as I'm watching this, I'm going to start buttoning my trench coat from the bottom up. Yeah, that's why. Like, carefully buttoning it from the bottom up.
Don't want nothing caught in them button loops.
Right? It's chilly in here.
Also, don't want nothing caught in the machinery. And it's actually just juicing the eye, and it seems like that's
Yeah,
gonna take
just
a
the
while.
whole thought of that in my actual fucking brain, I'm like, ooh, corkscrew thing going on. Yeah. I'm gonna need to cover this. Not trying to get that charge again.
And they look at you, and they... You alright?
Yeah, it's a little chilly in here.
Well, there's fire over there.
I'm fine. But thank you.
Uh-huh. I mean, so, I'll have that ready in about 2-3 days. I'm a little booked up. I mean, as you look over into the forge, you notice that there are several different types of metal rods sticking into this forge, and a few pieces of what looks like adamantine plate being heated to be forged on a completely different kiln, so to speak. Temperature is way higher.
I wonder if there's anything else I could get.
They're part red dragon too.
I wonder if there's anything else I could get. Because now that I've gotten rid of that eyeball, I've got plenty of room in my bag. I'm just saying.
And then you go, just be back in a few days, and going out to explore the marketplace some more.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
And we're gonna come back around to the three of you, who actually would have been, by the time Wisp is to here, you would wander around for about 30 to 45 minutes, make it from one side to other of this minor little hamlet city. I mean, it's reasonably sized. It's more vertical than horizontal, though. So wandering the streets looking for something is not that hard, but you do notice one thing very interesting. There are no churches. There are no temples. A very few people even bother to wear a holy symbol.
I've got a couple of those.
There are 3 or 4 healers who are alchemists. Potions are in ready supply and ingredients are everywhere. But there is not one church or temple on the entire bloody island.
So I want to roll stealth and see if I can sneak away and go do something privately that I will talk to you about.
Okay, go ahead and roll your stealth check.
26.
How actively were you all conversing on this trip?
I certainly wasn't.
All right. So with your passive perception, yeah, and another one bites the dust. All right, so yeah, you notice there are no churches.
Then I'm gonna begin looking for leader position people of any sort. Leaning towards the humanitarians. As it would be. As it would be.
Okay, I need you to think long and hard about how you are going to do that and what kind of interactions you're going to try and incite in order to do that, because right now you're kind of standing in a street going, where the fuck are the churches?
I'm also gonna look for the marketplace.
Alright, so that's...
The congregating area of the majority of peoples.
Okay. It'll take you about 20 minutes or so to get to the market. And that brings us around to you. What are you doing?
So I wanted to sneak off and go down towards the dock and see if the incoming boats have any information about the kids not playing or wanting to be here or whatever.
So you're gonna head down to the docks?
Yeah.
It'll be about a 10-minute walk. What are you doing? Because Kalora is standing here going, there's no churches. You're still there. I mean, you're an artificer, but you're there. And it's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. There is not a single church or priest anywhere that you all have been. And you've been the full length and width of this little town.
That is rather odd.
Not necessarily. I don't think that it's the weirdest thing that's ever happened. I mean, we've known plenty of communities to live quite well without the influence of religion.
Oh yeah.
Which might make it so that my newfound faith might be able to get a foothold if given the right first impression.
Could be a thing.
At which point we will accomplish what we came here to do and everything will be wonderful. And whenever what's his fuck gets back, I can honestly and earnestly say that I'm Mommy's favorite.
Until she gets another wild hair up her ass.
Right.
I'm Mommy's favorite today.
I mean, technically, since, you know, they want me and they're willing to give me anything I want, that would kind of make me the favorite, right?
Not until you say yes.
Up until that point, you're the target.
Yeah.
That is a hill you are not expected to conquer.
Though if I succeed, it will be quite a reward. Conquer the inconquerable.
Wisp. The inconquerable wisp. That makes sense. I mean,
Right.
ain't nothing killed him yet in his life. Alright, so, as you two are standing here church free, and so are you going to head with Kalora down towards the marketplaces? Alright.
See what the hell is going on.
And Wisp, as you step out of this place, right about that time, as you're stepping out, because of the way that they would have had to snake themselves through everything, they know where the market is by now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's relatively quick. Roughly across the square and a little bit to the left, you see Kalora and I believe it was Cora?
Yep.
Walking sans Ronin.
Hardly ever a surprise.
So what you're doing is you see these two walking basically into the market, looking around. Kalora looks very confused, by the way. Actually, they both look kind of confused and like something's kind of off. God doesn't live here.
Not a problem, but I can.
I'm gonna see if, like, since I'm walking around, I was gonna see if I could find another tailor.
Gonna go looking for a tailor?
Yeah, one that specializes in making, like, magic items.
So you want a tailor who also is capable of... Alright. So well,
Apparently I get to save my platinum, so I mean I'm trying to find a way.
you gave the guy a dragon's eye. It's actually worth the amount of platinum you were offering plus about 4K more. So
Right.
it was fair charge.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, I'm looking for a tailor who specializes.
And while I cook your tailor in the back of my head,
Yay.
a tailor who specializes in making magical garments and things of that nature, correct?
Yep.
Thought I heard you right. See, I are paying attention. I are good DM. I are baboon. We will go to the docks, which would be right about the where in the search for a church you lost, Ronan.
Bye.
You haven't realized you lost him yet. Ronan, as we come around the corner to you, you find yourself in, most of what's coming in right now is fishing boats. There's a few women down by the docks helping unload the boats. You see a few walking up kissing what could be a significant other, their partner. In one particular case, it's a guy walks up, kisses a guy. In a couple other cases, it's a woman walks up, kisses a woman. In a few cases, you're not sure what the genders of either person are.
Just normal things.
Yeah, like these guys all just got back from a 4-day fishing voyage, and the people who are there are their partner and loved one, regardless of anything, are all just happy to see them. But yet again, you notice no kiddos anywhere. Now, you grew up and have spent time in fishing villages and things like that in your travels over the centuries, and you would know that in a million different ways, something is definitely rotten about this. Because what parent isn't going to drag their kids down when mom or dad is getting back from a long trip to greet them at the docks when they might not have made it home?
Right.
Sea serpents are a thing, and they have teeth bigger than a 2x4.
So I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna start asking some of the women.
What kind of people are you looking for in particular? What do you what type of demeanor are you looking for? How are they carrying themselves? I want you to go ahead and roll an insight after you tell me what you're looking for.
Just someone that looks like they're gonna have a little bit of information that might be willing to maybe finally talk about what's going on.
So,
Just someone that looks like they might know what's going on and might
or
be willing to
be
share.
having a rough bit of it in one way or another.
Yeah, that way
Like
they
that. So, okay, go ahead and roll insight for me, please. And this, DMs, is how you give the right questions without giving away the right questions. For those watching at home, when this gets edited.
Our episode release schedule's gonna be so funny this week.
Alright.
8.
8.
Yeah, it was a little low.
Yeah. Good news is, it wasn't a 1, so you're not completely screwed no matter how you slice it. Now, you go and you see that there are quite a few people who look, 1 or 2 women look incredibly distressed, like you're not comfortable approaching them. There's one lady that looks like she hasn't slept in quite some time all that well. She seems sad. She's watching the boats by herself. She's just watching. The pier that she's sitting at the end of is empty. And she's just fidgeting in her lap with her hands. Looks like she's packed a picnic basket and she's got about 5 or 6 sandwiches in it. Something to drink, a bottle of wine.
So I go up and I say, "Excuse me, not to bother you, but you seem awfully distraught and sad for all people that all have loved ones coming in and yours is empty. Are you okay?"
The boat's just not back yet. Get bored at the house, or just come down here and wait. I mean, the kids are gone, so what am I supposed to do?
The kids are gone. Where have they gone?
Not sure. Just gone. Reaches down, picks up the wine bottle, puts it to her lips, tips it back. Like I said, they should be in about 45 minutes or so.
Sure.
You look trustworthy enough.
Sure.
There you go. He passes you her bottle.
Take a little sip.
Not from around here, are you?
No, we just came in, me and my group of friends. We are actually wondering what is going on with all the children. That's kind of what we're here for, is to help solve why they've disappeared or why they're not playing in the streets. If they're in fear of something, we're here to try to fix it.
Yeah. Talk about things like that.
I do still have it.
Yeah, and I understand that that's kind of taboo around here to talk about, but I really don't know what's going on, and I just would like as much information as you'd be comfortable sharing.
Oh, no. Okay. Go ahead and roll persuasion for me. At a disadvantage, the fact you're even getting a roll, you should be happy about. Because this is like on the list of the fuck.
Ooh, 5.
I really can't. You talk of evil and evil befalls you. I've done made that mistake once, and she gets up, grabs her basket and her bottle, and runs off. See, you didn't fail, so you at least got something. Fair?
Yeah.
What's now? With a 10. So the two of you
The fuckery must foul begins.
who would notice Wisp turning out of a blacksmith shop with some rather nice shields hanging in the windows and things of that nature.
Nice.
And
I need a dark alleyway or a dark hiding spot.
there are dark alleyways all through there.
I'm gonna duck into one. I'm not trying to be particularly sneaky. I don't really care if I'm seen going in that way. It looks like I kept going.
Okay, so you're going into a dark alleyway. Are you following or are you staying with?
Following.
Following, or you're gonna follow Wisp. You have two choices. Wisp went down the street into the market. Kalora's ducking down a dark alley. Which way do you go? It's choose your own adventure moment.
Dark alley.
Alright.
Am I gonna notice them dipping down this dark alley?
Passive perception. Kalora's not trying to hide.
Okay.
So what's your passive perception on this
17.
Easy.
one? Easy? Jesus Christ, yeah.
I'm not even half trying to hide.
I was gonna give it like maybe a 13, 14 because you're half trying. So, yeah. Wisp, you see Kalora's big rattling ass go clank, clank, clank down a dark alley.
Okay.
With the Artificer in tow and Ronan's missing.
I'm gonna tell Herbie to go stealth and follow, just to protect them.
And Herbie's stealth check runs off of yours, so what's your stealth, please?
My stealth? +11.
Okay, so you all can't see Herbie. He rolled a 15. He's above your passive perception. You're not looking for Herbie.
What you would see,
That's why I like the flashing
Cora?
one, because everybody knows what I rolled.
as you follow me into the alleyway, is that I reach into my bag of holding and I pull out, it's very obviously a scroll, and I mutter something about a mile in their shoes. And before you disappears the Arakakra and reappears a halfling child. Got an hour.
You've got an hour?
I had to go check my inventory in both places to make sure I definitely had it. One scroll of disguise self. Gives me 1 hour.
So my question is
30 minutes of this much of a shape change. And
I'm gonna notice.
Herbie would notice the shift, yes. It's very obvious when it happens. So you watch Kalora turn themselves into a halfling child. So they are now this tall.
itty bitty.
And a child in a Sure.
I bag up my armor and weapons
I call this
into
bribery.
a bag of holding that I tie at my hip.
Normal.
Oh no, I'm good. I just take it too.
My armor and weapons go into a bag of holding that I tie at my hip. And I go literally frolicking into the marketplace.
I only had the one pack.
You're gonna go frolicking through the marketplace. Okay, so
I'm legitimately using this as a means of getting scolded. Don't you know?
oh, go
Style.
for it. So you are a halfling child, so there is a catch to that. We'll get to that in a minute. Wisp, what you would see, because you would obviously pay attention to what Herbie was doing and where Herbie was, because he would have just went up onto some of the streamers across and everything.
Yeah.
He would have been watching. You watch Herbie follows Kalora to where he can see them in the alleyway,
Yeah.
and then starts following a halfling child
Okay.
as they go frolicking through the marketplace, running roughshod through everything. Now, what are you doing as a halfling goes streaking out of there? By the way, are you dressed?
Yes. Yes, in fact I am. And here's the worst part. I'm wearing my hatchling's clothing.
You're wearing cutesy little rich kid clothes and running through looking like a Cupid doll.
And now it looks a bit more like, ragamuffin clothes. They've been in my personal bag of holding for a while. With everything else I've stuffed in there.
So, as you watch this halfling go running, what are you doing?
I have no idea where she's going, but I don't know if I can keep up with her at this point.
Your
And I have a
movements.
stout foot halfling.
The fact is that your movement is the same as hers. So, yes, you can keep up. It's just those little legs are moving 3 times faster than yours. And that will bring us back to the ducks on Serona.
No one wants to talk,
after
so maybe
talking
we
to her and
go.
her getting up quite abruptly, she seemed very distressed. What are you doing from here? I broke after that point to give you some time to think about what she said, because you're not coming back empty-handed at this point.
No, I did. She mentioned, I know, I'm gonna go up and try to talk to one of the families and be like, do you guys know who that was? She seemed a little...
Oh! Ah! Oh! I'm not there. I can't yell at you.
She seemed crazy.
Okay, she's gonna... The people that, go ahead and roll an insight check for me just to see if you can follow enough social etiquette to not pick the wrong time. I need to be able to check your timing, and that's an insight move. It's completely possible to walk into two people mid-passionate kiss and interrupt it with that, at which point the reaction will be bad. On the other 12? Good news is it's not going to be that bad.
Well, I would know better than to do like walk up on someone making out with their loved ones.
You do find an older couple, like obviously she's got to be at least a 50, 60-year-old human. He looks like he's about 50. He looks like he's about her age, only slightly less than elven pointy ears. Judging from complexion and everything, you'd say probably half wood elf. It's like, well, can't much blame her. I mean, her husband's ship sank. She had them 2 kids, but then a boat full of people came in, and a couple of them were letting their youngins run in the streets, and she told them too much. One night, they were gone. Nobody knows where they went.
Huh.
She's talking to some pixie couple about it too, because she caught 2 tiny little pixies this big running out, and these days she's got nothing left to lose. She just comes down here, somebody buys her a bottle of wine, we drop food off to her because the woman's been through enough, and she's got nothing.
Is she the only one that has had this happen to her? Or had this happen to her? Or is it all the children that are just...
A lot of youngins are up and grown. We were smart enough never to let them out the house.
So they either have to stay inside or disappear?
Oh,
Is something taking them?
we've already said too much. I mean, you talk of evil and evil happens. And I wouldn't go around asking them kind of questions so forthright if I were you. You're liable to give people the wrong impression. They might think you're trying to get them killed.
The only one I'm worrying about getting killed is myself.
Well, then I think you should worry a little bit harder.
So I kind of leave the dogs and start heading towards the marketplace.
Okay.
Perfect
And
work.
Wisp, as you watch this little halfling go running, what are you doing?
Me? I'm just gonna keep continuing towards the tailor.
Perfect. So after about 5 minutes, you find a relatively nice tailor. Well, nice tailor shop. The person behind the doors, do you think woman? It's kind of hard to tell. She's a goblin
Alright.
with like a pincushion fastened to a strap of her apron, and she's got a pair of scissors stuck oddly. Looks like she has a couple of straight really long hat pins holding her hair up in a bun that's screwed together so tightly you're pretty sure it smooths her forehead for her. Long, crooked, pointed nose, sharp teeth, and bright golden yellow eyes. Just... Need something?
Yes, actually. I was wondering if you have any custom magical clothing or clothing with magical properties that you either have in inventory or that you can make for me.
Oh, they want it with magic. Alright. Yeah, I can do it. What you gonna pay me?
I can either pay you in materials or I can pay you in platinum.
Yeah. I like platinum. Platinum buys booze. Materials don't buy booze.
Well, it depends on the materials. I mean, I did just take and give a dragon's eye to the blacksmith. I gave him an ice dragon eye. For 2 shields.
Those must be some shields. That's all she says. And, must be some shields. So, what were you trying to have made?
I'm looking for some magical pants or.
And do you want those to be pants of uncontrollable dancing? Do you want those to be pants of endless pooping or never pooping? We have pants of flatulence.
No, nothing.
I also have pants of permanent function.
What is permanent function?
I'll leave it to your imagination, baby.
Okay. Interesting. Do you have any pants that would either improve my stealth, my armor class, or possibly grant me an ability?
Disappearing.
Wow. You don't wear socks, do you?
No.
Tights?
Preferably not. Or if you have it in a top hat, I'll gladly take that as well. Instead of pants.
Top hat. What about the one you're wearing?
I like my top hat, but I could use an upgrade in my top hat.
I got an idea. So, that's a nice hat. I'm no hatter.
Not a haberdashery,
No, I don't like Mercury. But I'm pretty sure I can get you like a nice tie and vest combo going on. It'll go real nice with that hat. Nothing dorky bow ties. I've got something I've been working on.
Okay. What is it?
It kind of looks like a noose with both ends dangling.
Alright. What is properties?
Whatever I put into I figure I'll up your armor class with that. We can put a little bit of a, yeah. It'll take me a couple of days. But I'm pretty sure I can get you a vest that'll help you with that I can have some idiot imbue with pass without trace.
Okay.
It'll only be localized to yourself, though. Please understand.
Like you needed any help disappearing.
Some of the perception rolls I can pull. Yeah.
By myself, you mean by myself and what I'm wearing, or?
Just your personage. You're not going to be able to do like the actual spell does and, get everybody in like a 30-foot radius of you with it that you want to.
Alright, so.
It'll only work on you. It'll work for about an hour at a time. There'll be an activation word and you'll be able to use it 3 times a day. So 3 hours out of a day, you'll be a little bit more sneaky.
Alright, so out of character, is this also gonna work with Herbie or?
Yeah, it would. Herbie would be affected.
Okay, so if I used it, Herbie would be included.
As long as
As
he's
long as he's
on
in there.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, the second Herbie steps out of the hat, he's fucked.
And you said the tie would have what?
Oh, the tie I can make with a +2 to your armor class. So it'd be a +2 hanging device.
Okay.
Also, Also, if you're really dirty about it, you might be able to use it for a +2 whip. But I don't think it's gonna do much damage. It's made out of cloth.
Right. I'm not really worried about the whip. Although that would be, it would probably have some uses.
Now, would you like that in, like, what kind of a material are you looking for today?
Something subtle.
No, are you looking for cotton? Do you want this done in silks? Do you want it done in some sort of a blended material? I mean, I could take a little bit of hemp, I could mix it with some cotton, weave some silk into it. Do you want it patterned? Do you want it to look one color? How would you like it, honey?
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna ask for it to be, like a purplish color, because currently my trench coat is black. So is my top hat. My top hat has a purple, basically like a ribbon around the brim. So I'm gonna say something like, purple or purple and black. Choose how you wanna do the pattern on it. And I'm gonna say probably cotton or similar material to my trench coat.
Works everything. Feels your trench coat. Well, that's a silk and cotton blend on the inside, and the outside's leather. I guess I could put leather accents on a silk and cotton blend. Well, I'm gonna have to leave some cloth for this. These are gonna be some nice studs, though.
What's your price?
We'll call it 50 platinum and good. I can do some of the spell work myself.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and give them 50 platinum and then offer them 10 more as a tip.
You're not learned at all.
Oh no, a twist, dude. He doesn't have any actual value for money.
No! Oh, you might not remember Kalora getting, chased out of the liquor shop for calling it a tip.
No, actually I don't. Okay, so I'm saying give them 50 platinum.
It's a gratuity or a compliment.
You call it a tip. They're gonna ask you why you're playing just the tip with them.
Okay, so I'm gonna give them 50 platinum, and then turn around and give them 10 more platinum for gratuity. Or no, never mind.
Compliment.
Compliment. It's a compliment. I'm gonna give them 10 platinum out of my appreciation for taking the time to make this shit for me.
Now there's a man who knows how to throw it around.
I'm gonna snicker.
Ever gone green, honey? And she takes the money off the table, bites one of the platinum pieces, and you watch as her tooth actually puts a divot in it.
Okay.
Platinum's a really soft metal. And
When she asked if I was going green, what was that question?
you ever thought about going green, honey?
Thought might have crossed my mind.
Well, I do like Bob's things, so maybe we talk later.
Sounds good.
You're in danger!
Danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger! And Kalora, where were you headed, by the way?
I was gonna run through the marketplace to the docks. I was spanning as many people who were likely to grab my wrist and scold me like the errant child I currently am.
I'm gonna mark 60 platinum off my.
I'm so used to looking at everybody's adult height, and you being a halfling child, nobody notices you.
I am doing.
But I do need you to make a dex check because you're trying to be rampant. What are you doing as you run through here?
Pulling on, shirt tails, trying to,
That's how much.
do you have cookies? Just the
That's
most
why I
absurd
don't-
childish behavior I can come up with. I am being
Yeah, what is your, give me an
obnoxious.
idea of what your ideal first target looks like.
Round age 30, soft in the middle female.
you find what looks like a baker or somebody who's selling bread in the marketplace.
Gee, that smells good. Can I have some? Yank, yank, yank.
Wait, aren't you a...
And a couple gold pieces in my hand. That smells so good.
Where's your mother?
I don't have one.
That is a true answer.
I mean, it's better than saying.
Okay.
Lying would break the concentration. I'm not that smart.
I mean, to be fair, saying you don't have one kind of beats saying they got ate by dinosaurs. Just saying.
Only because she burned her mother to the ground.
Right?
Bring my mother to a crisp.
Oh, I don't have one.
She's ashes and cinders in the middle of Kistara.
What do you mean everyone has a mother? You couldn't have got here without one. Where's your mother? Your father?
I don't have one. I was living in a different city and then I walked through a doorway and now I'm here and your bread smells really, really good.
Oh, well, thank you, but we need you to come with me. I need to find somebody to watch this stall. Sit right here, and she sits you on a stool, and she starts looking around for people.
Can I have the bread first? I'll pay you.
It's your money, dear. You're going to need it. And she just hands you like a piece of what looks like a hot cross bun with like sugar glistening on the top of it and a little bit of honey drizzle.
Yes!
So while they're looking around, because my guess is at this point they're probably looking for law enforcement.
Yes.
I'm gonna have Herbie shoot like a little bit of fire as a distraction.
Are you trying to set anything on fire?
No, just shoot like fire out of his mouth up into the air, because currently he is still stealth. So if he shoots the fire, it's just gonna look like it's coming out of nowhere, and then bam, there's a little beetle. And I think that would be a major fucking distraction at any point in place.
How close are we to getting back to the marketplace?
Actually, you would come in right about the time to see Cora standing back, kind of doing one of these numbers.
I recognize the bird as being the child.
No, you see Cora watching a halfling child. The only kid you have seen in this entire place wearing a very big tattered set of rags that look very much like Kastaran children's clothes.
That's why I'm wondering if I would be able to put it together because
No, it clearly looks like a
have one,
halfling outside of
and
that.
you're just in rags. I don't have one.
Well, I want to sneak up to the bird or to the
I
kid.
think she's not a bird at the moment.
To the kid and say, "We gotta get you out of
My
here."
bread!
And say, "We gotta get you out of here now," and try to get the kid away.
But the baker told me to stay here.
Do you want to die?
I think I might if I don't listen.
If you do listen,
I gotta stay here.
No, if you listen, you might die.
But
You
she
gotta.
fed me.
You
Make a
gotta
performance
trust
check.
me.
Make a performance check on this one. You get an insight to oppose it.
I mean, at this point, man, you might as well try intimidation. They're a child brain. You're not gonna get that.
23 on an at 20. Budgie,
You.
the blue one.
Oh yeah.
Unless you nat 20,
I gotta
they
look
nat
underneath this
20.
damn couch.
Yeah, I got an 18 plus
It
2.
ain't
Nope, you have no clue that this is the bird.
But the bird would know me and should stop fucking arguing with me and listen.
No.
You don't know it's the bird.
Yeah, child brain.
Nope.
Nope, they're just
That
acting.
nice baker lady gave me food and told me to stay here, and I think I might be in a lot of trouble if I don't listen.
Volume, guys.
Would I see Wisp or anybody else at this point?
You can see Cora kind of sitting there watching this kid with their face
I don't know who
Plans
you
to
are
get
to
up
this
on.
kid, but convince them. All the kids around here have either disappeared or they have to be locked up in their house or else they don't
This would
exist
be
anymore.
probably
You gotta
leaving because
listen
it's
to
going to
me.
take the tailor a couple days to get this job done, obviously. I mean, they've got to leave cloth.
Yeah.
So you would be walking out in time to see the halfling and
Seeking destruction.
Ronan, right about the time that you walk up and ask Cora to help, you watch a gout of flame 15 feet tall and a purple cone go off of the top of the baker's tent. Herbie was following in stealth from the top of everything.
Yep.
Well, then I want to grab the kid and run. They got no choice.
I'm gonna bite hard.
Actually, it's an opposing strength check. It's a grapple.
They got no choice at this point.
Do I maintain my strength score?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a beefy little guy.
No, you still look like it's disguised self. You look like a halfling child.
I know.
All
See?
other things don't change. No, it's a strength check. It's opposing strength rolls.
That's cocked.
It's just your strength plus its modifier versus Kalora's strength plus modifier. Anybody can roll a 2, so anything's possible.
That would be 22.
This dice.
Go to
What was your
Dash
strength? What was your strength roll, honey?
9.
22.
Fuck that.
So you
dice.
better reach
Rolling
for this
low all
kid.
day.
They jerk away from you, say no, and shove you, and you stagger back a little bit.
I think
Fine, you want to die, you go die. I'm going to help save the rest
You're
of the kids. in
suddenly
this town.
actually pretty sure that this tiny little tot could punch a hole in a brick wall. Cora actually could, so that's viable.
How?
Oh yeah.
With fists and forehead.
Hence why they can't lie in this condition. Okay, so as Herbie sets off his volcano, and you watch as Ronan gets shoved by a halfling child. Which, you gotta admit, the calamity that is this particular scene and the fuckery that is
I
going on
told
there.
him not to do it, and he did it anyway.
Fuckery must fell. Like I said,
Right, so what are you doing as you see Ronan get shoved by a halfling that's maybe this tall? As he tries to snatch that.
How tall?
I'm gonna stealth and then try to fucking go up on the roof where Herbie is. So I can either A, grab Herbie for a quick getaway, or B, use some other trick up my sleeve.
Okay, so what I need you to do is first of all roll your stealth check. And because these are cloth-like canopies in a marketplace, after you roll that, I'm going to need you to roll a dex save to make sure you don't fall through the cloth climbing on it.
Okay, so as far as stealth goes, I got a 20 plus my 11.
31. Ouch. Oh, but one specializes in things.
You said Dex?
Yep.
19.
19. So you get yourself up there, and you realize that once you get to this tent, you realize that it's pretty flimsy framework, and you're not going to be able to get up on top. You are well hidden where you are. You've managed to stick to the shadows, but first of all, you realize that's totally going to expose you. And secondly, we're talking it is a tropical island, so it's more to block the sun to a degree than it is to like keep off the rain or water.
Yeah.
As a result, while silk is sturdy, the framework is not.
So basically, if I go to try to travel, I'm gonna.
You're gonna collapse it.
Yeah.
Herbie, on the other hand, weighs 2 pounds.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like try to fucking walk across the roof, but I am gonna try and get like Herbie's attention without breaking myself.
That's easy.
Yeah.
That's a thought for you. Literally, Herbie is always aware of you. You're attuned to him as a magical item.
Yeah.
He's one of your 6 maximum, I believe it is, attunement slots.
Yeah.
So you know the tie will not have to be attuned, the vest will.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
Now, With all that said and all that done, as you collect Herbie, the child screams, Ronan gets stuffed back, Cora face palms, and life happens in all of its grandiosity because some people are just assholes. Not anybody at this table. I'm going to have to stop it right there because we lose Anaya at 8 tonight, and this is one of those things where I actually need all of these people to be in the scene at the same time because everybody's got a part to play.
Yeah.
I tried to get myself spirited away by some guards.
But you got friends.
Well, you know what? If you'd have given me a damn heads up about it, I'd have let it fucking happen. But no.
Yeah, didn't say anything to him. You saw him going to the tailor's. You could have gone and said something. You could have ran up to him, Uncle Wisp, and somebody.
Well, I wasn't trying to drag them into my bullshit because I'm 90% sure the way this ends is me running out of time and just poofing into my massive self again.
So the
I was
problem.
hearing all those clothes.
So the problem is that Wisp actually is a master of disguise, and I actually do have. He actually does have the ability to completely disguise himself in anything he wants.
Yeah, he has the disguise self spell. He uses it regularly.
Yeah. So
I'm
one of the
changeling.
one
Well,
of the
then
reasons.
changeling yourself into a child and find information.
Well, one of the reasons why I chose to go up towards the roof is not only to get Herbie, but also because.
We're still recording.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, guys. Love you, but no.
No spoilers.
See you all later. That'll be a surprise for another
Love,
time.
peace, and chicken grease.
Bye.